Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you not merely to listen, but to bear witness to a defining moment unfolding in West Africa. When Judge Thomas called into question my presidency, declaring my mandate illegitimate, that gavel was not merely a blow. It was the spark that ignited the spirit of Burkina Faso, awakening our determination rather than diminishing it. You challenged me in a courtroom, but you stirred the soul of every village, every citizen, every working mother of Ouagadougou, Manora, and Babu Doulasso. You believed you would fracture us, but instead, you united us. I did not ascend to power for glory, nor was I driven by personal ambition. I stood up because my people were suffocating under puppets who danced to the tunes of Paris, Washington, and Brussels, opening doors for foreign corporations to strip our gold, empty our fields, and leave children hungry, our uranium-powered foreign cities while our villages starved. Should I have stood idle, waited for another savior who would never come? No. That is why I chose action. Call it a coup. Label it illegitimate, if it brings you comfort. But my people know the truth. Sovereignty was reclaimed, not stolen. I serve them, not foreign masters. No American court can judge otherwise. I seized control not to subjugate, but to liberate. Not for myself, but for us all, our soil, our water, our future. Judge Thomas, you rest behind pristine robes, wielding judicial power. But whose interests are you defending? Not the people's, but the foreign corporations, the international financiers extracting our wealth through legal loopholes. Who truly serves the elites? You uphold their status, while I stand for our sovereignty of state and spirit. Elections and constitutional niceties failed to protect us. While they negotiated in plush rooms abroad, our assets were sold and our wealth transferred abroad. Democracy wasn't delivering. So I acted resolutely, not recklessly, to preserve our nation. I envision a Burkina Faso powered by its own gold, refined domestically, creating jobs and retaining value. A nation that processes its own cotton, harnesses its solar and water resources, rebuilds its infrastructure, and becomes West Africa's strongest economy, not for hubris, but for dignity. You brand me a coup maker, but history will judge you. After colonial-era leaders sold our future for crumbs, I reclaimed it. I didn't seize power, I restored it. And unlike those silent servants of the foreign facade, I rose because silence is betrayal. When foreign predators arrived with contracts, not tanks, laced with jargon and smiles of development, I stepped forward. I have heard them whisper, "Don't talk about sovereignty. You'll scare away investors." But investors, when stripped down, are just those who leave nothing and take everything. While analysts praised numbers on paper, real life suffered hunger, displaced youth, empty hospitals, and broken schools. I could not continue the polite silence of decline. To obey unjust rules is easy. To defy them is duty. Burkina Faso's gold, uranium, farmland, waters, all belong to us. Until now, no leader spoke that truth. The international order wasn't built for us. When a nation like ours dares to rise, labels follow: authoritarian, populist. Because we refuse quiet death. I love my country more than I fear international criticism. I carry Sankara's torch, not as nostalgia, but as mission. Democracy without sovereignty is illusion. I answer to my people and history, not foreign lobbyists or donors. If not now, when? If not us, who? Judge Thomas, I do not back down. I do not apologize. I will build our nation, not for your approval, but for our children's future. My presidency is not just power, it's promise. To our ancestors in unmarked graves, those who marched for independence, the children who still believe greatness can rise from our soil, I will not let them down. I'm not here to manage decay, nor to negotiate with thieves. I'm here to expose them, To lead, not appease. Good, let the uncomfortable be roused. Revolution is not a polite dinner. It's reckoning. Burkina Faso is no experiment or puppet to be tugged by foreign strings. We are heirs of rich soil, builders of our resources, architects of our destiny. The courtroom spectacle only strengthened our resolve. You misjudged us. This is war against power that steals, against weakness that surrenders. We are not at peace, so we cannot be gentle. I did not rise to comfort the comfortable. I rose to awaken the silenced. Negotiation with our decline? No, we reject it. Foreign consultants lectured us with statistics. They failed to understand our soul. Past leaders accepted chains for aid. Each signature was another brick in dependency's wall. I refuse that legacy. When a house burns, you break windows, you pour water, you shout fire. Our nation has been burning spiritually, economically, politically, and now they blame the one holding the hose. Let them talk. Context and latest developments. Traoré seized power in September 2022 coup, ousting Damiba, then became interim president and head of armed forces. Wikipedia. Promise of elections in July 2024 was later broken. Transition extended by 5 years. AP News Wikipedia. He revived Thomas Sankara's legacy via mausoleum, street renaming, and revolutionary slogans. AP News policies include setting up the first domestic gold refinery and restricting raw exports to boost revenue. Wikipedia. Security initiatives, mass mobilization campaigns, new taxes for defense funding, while violence persists. Wikipedia. Shifted geopolitical alignment, expelled French troops, aligned closer with Russia, reopened embassy, deployed Russian mercenaries. Wikipedia. AP News Medium. A growing cult of personality, amplified by AI-driven propaganda and social media. SYCOPHANCY. The Washington Post. The Times. Meanwhile, political opposition, independent media, and civil liberties have been repressed. Journalists detained and forcibly conscripted. Media outlets banned.